Thank you, Rajesh sir, for introducing me. I would like to congratulate all the past and present esteemed members of IWSA for taking this society very efficiently forward. And I am also very proud to be one of the member of the society since last 10 years. Thank you, ma'am, for doing a lot of activities in the area of sustainable environment management, in the areas of women empowerment. Also, you have library. So I would also like to thanks for inviting me today for delivering lecture in international seminar on only one earth, rebalance energy to sustain. So topic is very apt. When we talk about rebalance, what we need to rebalance? What we have to rebalance? We have to rebalance us. And today's event is the best example of rebalance because we are conducting in online as well as in offline mode, and we are reducing emissions by reducing transportation, by reducing other resources. So it's very important in current scenario that we rebalance ourselves and define some models that will take us forward for sustainable future. So today I'm very happy to present on the topic urban heat islands and climate change and integrated strategies for their management. As you know that every year we feel in summers that yes, lot of heat is there, temperature is rising, variations are there in rainfall. Till today, actually, every year we used to get lot of rains. But this year there is a change. Phenomena is changing. And this heat, what we are observing, its pattern is also different. During night time, heat is still very high. Although, as per the natural condition, heat should gradually decrease when there is a sunset. But it is not happening. So it means that there is some problem. And what is that problem? It is created by us only. So these extreme heat conditions are very harmful in different ways for environment, for different resources, for human health, as well as for other biodiversity also. Different climate models have been developed by scientists in eminent universities and institutions. And they have observed that there is an increase in the intensity, frequency, as well as duration of extreme heat. And this extreme heat is going to affect us very badly, especially when we observe the data, we can see that in last 1 decade, in last 15 years, around 11 years were having extreme heat. And this extreme heat is increasing our temperature. So it is observed that temperature rise is around 0.7 degrees centigrade between 1901 to 2018, and it will rise further by 4.4 degrees centigrade by 2100. So it means that conditions are going to be very difficult. And as you all know that our Prime Minister has taken pledge in recent COP26 that we will be net zero by 2070. So how we can become net zero when we are not curbing our actions that is degrading our environment, that is degrading our resources? So it is expected by 2050, India could face many lethal heat waves, 3-day event when an average maximum temperature exceeds a healthy human survival limit. So this condition is going to be very difficult. If we see the temperature parameters of all over the world, in 2021, there is extreme rise in the temperature, global temperature. So due to rise in temperature, different other resources, factors also get affected. So here in this diagram, you can see that the temperature rise is uneven. This heat is uneven. In urban area, it is more, and in rural areas, you can see it is less. It is observed that there is a difference of around 3 to 4 degrees centigrade in between rural and urban areas. And also it is observed in a prime location of urban area, the temperature will be more in comparison to the areas which are situated at the outskirts of the city or in peri-urban areas. So why it is happening? So this phenomena is known as urban heat island effect. And this phenomena was observed in around in 1920 in Western countries. But it was good for Western countries because Western countries required lot of heating. They have cold conditions. So it was good. But in developing countries like India, it was observed in 1980s, and in 2025, its impact was enormous in city Ahmedabad. So at that time, our country has taken action how we can reduce this heat island effect in our country, because year by year it is increasing, and it's very important to take sustainable actions. If we see this diagram, you can see that during daytime, the atmospheric temperature is less than the surface temperature. So why surface temperature is very high? As you know that in urban area, we are going for removing vegetation because we are developing concrete buildings. Our roads are concretized or other materials are used. So due to all these impacts, the heat absorption capacity of all these things have increased, and heat is not able to escape. And due to that, heat remains in the pavements and increases the heat of the urban area. Apart from that, due to rampant development, lot of water bodies, wetlands in urban areas have also been reduced because urbanization is going on, infrastructure development is going on in urban areas. So due to this also, as you know that when solar radiations enter our earth, it is some of the infrared radiations are reflected back into the atmosphere. Due to less water bodies in urban areas, this heat is also trapped in the concrete buildings as well as road pavements. And due to that, heat is remain inside the ecosystem. It is not going back. So here you can see during night time also, the heat that is trapped in surface areas remain there. And atmospheric temperature also remain there, and it takes long time to reduce. That is why during night time, the requirement of air conditioning is increasing. So it means that in urban area, cooling is increasing. You all might see that when you visit in your computer labs or at a place where your server is there, you will find more heat. Or when you open your refrigerator, you will find cool. But if you go behind it, you will find heat is there. So all these appliances adding lot of heat in our ecosystem, and earth is getting affected. So major factors that are increasing heat in our ecosystem are different type of transportation, then cooking and appliances, then building equipments like air conditioners, lights, lifts, pumps, arising from aspirations of comfort. Urban infrastructure, basically land use planning is also not very efficient, and it is also affecting the proper development of urban area as per the sustainable management. Then building morphology is also affecting this heat to remain inside, not escaping outside in the atmosphere. Then surface character like ground cover, building material, water bodies, all these are also increasing heat in our ecosystem. A study conducted by one of the university in Finland, they have observed that there is a very strong correlation in between heat island effect as well as climate change. As you all know that climate change is due to the excess emission of greenhouse gases. And what are these greenhouse gases? Carbon dioxide, methane, and other 4 gases are also there like nitrous oxide. So if we correlate both the phenomena, heat island effect, due to the impact of heat island effect, we are increasing refrigeration, we are increasing air conditioning. From that, what is happening? Lot of GHGs are emitting into the atmosphere. And due to the excess GHG in atmosphere, what is happening? Climate change. Okay. So in this study, they have correlated urban development, heat island effect, as well as climate change. So as you know that now for income generation, employment, rural people migrate to urban areas. And urban areas, they should require better places to survive, better facilities, better infrastructure for their livelihood generation. So population in urban areas is increasing. And due to that, the demand of resources are also increasing. And in demand, energy is one of the requirement for lighting system, for cooling, heating, refrigeration, for all these demand, energy requirement is increasing. As you know that how we get energy from non-renewable sources, and these are mainly thermal power plant in our country. And from thermal power plant, there is maximum emission of carbon dioxide. So together with urban heat island effect as well as climate change, together it is increasing the problems, and due to that the emission of GHG gases, different air pollutants like NOx, SOx is increasing in our ecosystem. So when these gases are released in ecosystem, they have a natural system. Okay, if they are as per the within the permissible limit, they will remain and then they will be escape in the system. But when they are beyond the permissible limit, they form a blanket there of gases at stratosphere. And due to that blanket, the temperature is rising. The heat balance of Earth is getting unbalanced. So what we need to do now? So now we have to go for rebalance, because the compound effects of urban heat island effect and climate change is causing several type of problems in the human being, in our atmosphere, in our different resources. So it's very important to pay proper attention to the problems and solve the issues. So whenever heat in the atmosphere is more, you feel very restless. Problem of heat stroke increases. Heat cramps may be there. Respiratory diseases starts. Mental health also, because mind fogging starts whenever there is a lot of heat. Kidney diseases due to dehydration starts. And these health impacts require a lot of medical attention, lot of facilities by the government. So these health impacts are enormous due to these heat island effect and also the impact of climate change. In 2019, our country has come up with ICAP. ICAP is that is internal cooling action plan. Okay, so this cooling action plan basically covers air conditioning and refrigeration industry of our country. As you know that these industries emit lot of greenhouse gases, and also they require lot of gases that are chlorofluorocarbons. So chlorofluorocarbons are also having global warming potential. So they have both the effect. They also deplete the ozone hole. They also rise the atmospheric temperature. So our country has come up with a plan, and I would like to tell you about this plan. So rise in cooling demands in our country is going to rise. So if you see a baseline from 2013 to 2023, the requirement of split AC or light commercial air conditioners or chillers, it is going to increase. As you know that first lecture was on sustainable agriculture. In sustainable agriculture, precision agriculture, as well as proper storage and transportation of commodities is very important. And for improving the quality, refrigeration is one of the most important criteria. So for that, again, this vehicles will be required that will be having low temperature. They can maintain commodities for long time. So this type of facilities will be required. So as you know that our country is targeting to focus on Atmanirbhar Bharat, means they want to promote commodities developed by farmers for the development of our country. So how it would be possible? Because if you have to transfer some commodities from remote area of our country to urban areas, then you require a lot of facilities. And for that, our country has planned, and as per that, lot of facilities will be required in this. So in this, the space cooling, as per this policy, they are recommending that we should go for passive design. As Shamla madam was telling that through her Shashwat lecture, that we should go to our roots now, our traditional wisdom, we should bring it again now, we should adopt it. So same government is also promoting, we should go for passive design. So have you ever visited any mud hut or any old hut where very thick walls are there and there is a proper circulation of air and it remains cool throughout the day and night? So now we have to adopt that type of facilities through green building concepts so that we can properly manage the internal heat when external heat is more. We have to adapt eco-labeling product. Basically, eco-labeling is one of the sustainable criteria for labeling our electronic appliances. So we have to purchase only those equipments which are having higher star rating. And these are only for household electronic items. But now our government is also integrating it to industrial products also. Then cold chain facilities also our government is generating, and for that they are going for standardization of infrastructure component. So there will be proper rating of all the appliances that we use in industries, and then safety standards, flammable, toxic refrigerants, all these proper standards, labeling, as well as its adoption is promoted through these technologies. In transportation sector also, government is promoting now star labeling of passenger cars, reduction of cooling and refrigeration, and also they are also developing low refrigerant charge mobile air conditioning systems, improving mobile air conditioning systems efficiency of hybrid and electric vehicles, and building integrated and high quality public transport systems. So if you see these pictures, our ICAP has suggested 4 areas for intervention. First is the green roof. You might have seen several corporate buildings in Mumbai where they plant lot of trees, lot of vegetation is there. So these type of buildings are coming up that reduce the heat burden of the building, improves the cooling, natural cooling of that building. Then cool roof is another concept wherein we can put different type of plaster or paints on our roof that will be of light color and that will reflect all the radiations. It will not absorb. Then cool pavement. Cool pavement also involves the green concrete. So that is also a new concept. And also trees and vegetations, you all know that at least 33% of green vegetation should be there in cities to maintain the sustainability. And our country is having only 24%. So it's very important that we should promote tree and vegetation in our urban area. So this is the green roof that you can see at different airports, different prominent buildings. So in that, in upper surface, there will be a vegetation, then growth substrate will be there, then filter fabric will be there that will collect all the moisture, then drainage element will be there, then protection layer, then root barrier, then insulation layer, then waterproofing membrane and roof deck will be there so that water will not percolate inside the building. So this type of technology is very efficient and it is also adopted in our country. Then this is the cool roof. From warm roof, it reflects only 20% of the radiations. From cool roof, around 80% of radiations can be reflected. And this is the, you can see it is a cool road. So in Western countries, they are above the charcoal or charcoal road, they are putting some paint that is of light color so that it will not absorb the radiations and it will remain cool. Then urban trees, we all know that it's very important that we should go for native trees in urban areas, and we should also go for high intensity, like you all might have heard about Miyawaki forest. It is a very recent phenomena. It is a Japanese technology, but in our city also, BMC has taken pledge in Mumbai, and in Navi Mumbai also NMMC is coming up with lot of Miyawaki forest. So these Miyawaki forests are very good in urban areas. So wherever we have very small land like 100 square meter or less than that also, it is sufficient for growing Miyawaki forest and inviting other biodiversity also for maintaining the sustainability. So this is the best technology for reducing the impacts of heat island effects. As well as trees, as you know, they are the best medium for carbon dioxide sequestration. So it will be having multiple benefits. Not only it will support heat island effect, but also the climate change impacts will be reduced. I would like to share one case study from Ahmedabad. And as you know that for the first time in 2015, highest heat impacts were observed in Ahmedabad in our country. And that one of the public health department initiated to develop different technologies for reducing the impacts of heat island effect. So they have studied the impact of heat island on the health, on the different resources, and they have developed different technologies also. So in Ahmedabad, it is developed for the first time by Central Government Ministry of Health and Welfare, Home Affairs, MOEFCC, Earth Science, and State Government, Gujarat Energy Development Authority, Gujarat Public Works Department, and Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation. So under the Ahmedabad Heat Action Plan, they have taken different actions. As you know that nowadays it's very easy to know when heat waves will be there in our city. It's very easy to know that when rains are coming or due to cyclone, rains will be delayed. Why it is very easy? Because our IMD system is developed very efficiently. And Meteorological department is one of the most important part of this heat action plan. They are doing heat mapping and also doing air quality indexing. Then they are introducing cool roofs as an integral part of government architecture, completing the 2012 canopy cover inventory across Ahmedabad and creation of parks along riverside as well as near the slum areas. And there are different traditional ways also for improving our cooling. So for that also we can use traditional evaporative cooling methods, use of dry grass mats or jalis of khas, then change of cuisine during extreme summers. Other traditional cooling methods such as keeping potted plants in or outside the house, painting homes with light reflective colors, sprinkling water on the floor and letting it dry through evaporation for a cooling effect. So these are the simple ways to cool ourselves. So extreme heat conditions are going to increase further, and it's our duty to take proper action to reduce the impacts. And we should also support our government, our society by adopting best measures and also controlling on our emissions. So thanks a lot for patient hearing. And I would like to tell you all about my institute also. I am from SIES, Indian Institute of Environment Management, that is in our SIES Educational Complex, Nerul. And apart from, we are research center under University of Mumbai for PhD program in environmental science. We have MSc program in sustainable development and environment management.